What's good, everybody? This is my inaugural post, so welcome to the race car. This is my 2007 Nissan 350Z with a little bit of modifications, graciously purchased from my brother. He's doing this thing at Wright Farm Live, and he's doing his homesteading thing, and we had a couple conversations about the car, and at some point he was like, hey, you should just come and buy it. Of course, he told me after we had the conversations, and it was a week later and I was already back in Atlanta. So coming from you live from Atlanta, Georgia. He's up in St. Louis, so that's where I basically took off the next weekend and went back up there and picked up the car. But it's not about the car. It's about getting out of the military, transitioning in life, transitioning over to a new life. So I'm going to do a little vlog and see how much I can get out of this. I don't know how many vlog posts I can do, but I hope one a day. So this will be the 180-day challenge, roughly. I should be retiring about 1 November. My last day in uniform will be 30 July, right? So I'm right at the 97-day window or 107-day window or something like that. But I just wanted to document the progress and the process of it. It's something that's very, very challenging. It's a very scary time. It's a little nerve-wracking at times, and it's been an interesting process. I mean, I've tried to learn as much as I can along the way, but you don't really learn anything until you actually go and do it, right? And that's maybe kind of the point of this very first post, is really just getting out of my comfort zone, really out of my comfort zone, and documenting the process, right? For me, for my kids, for perpetuity purposes, for purposes beyond me, right? So that's really the story. I've been in for about 25 years, active duty and reserves, both total time. I'll be finishing up my 20 years of active duty time in November, and really it's the journey, right? I put in my time. I got to the point where it's time to transition out, and it's a really murky kind of territory. Like, nobody really knows how it's going to go until you actually start going down that path. And so I'd like to just at least try to document it a little bit and put it out there for people who are getting ready to transition out of the military, or even transitioning in anything in life, right? Going from one career to another career. A lot of things have changed. This is 2021. This is not April Fool's, but it's like April 14th, 2021. And the last year has been really crazy for everybody on the planet, right? With COVID, with a lot of teleworking, with a lot of different things going on. And even that in itself has really pushed me and made my justification and kind of changed my mindset about things. So really it's more figuring out the process along the way and getting to the point where I'm done, where I cross the finish line and I do my thing, right? So I will be retiring from Atlanta. After I get done here, I'm going to be moving to Sicily with my fiance, girlfriend, my life partner. So yeah, it's a big leap, right? Because you can't just get out of the military and move out of the country. That's probably one of the questions. The biggest question that I had was, hey, when I get done, can you move my stuff? Like, usually you get a transition move after you get out of the military, and that transition move only applies to inside of the continental United States, at least if you're transitioning out in the United States. If you're overseas, I think they'll move the stuff back. If you're Oconus, they'll move it back to a stateside location, or you can just get out overseas, either way. But yeah, that's one of the big questions that I had, and I had to hunt and search and find and poke and prod people to find that answer. The answer is, as far as right now goes, you can move it to the furthest port on your way out of the country, or you can move it to your home of record, right? So I thought, yeah, maybe I change my home of record to, you know, overseas, and then I can move my stuff. That's not the case. So furthest port away from where you're at, going toward in that direction, is what they'll cover, and then after that you cover the rest, right? So with that, I got to figure out how to get my stuff from here overseas, or if I want to keep my stuff. I have a lot of stuff, not a lot of stuff, but I have important stuff that I want to keep, and I don't want to rebuy it over there, and I don't want to have to re-spend the money, and it's just that balance of like, what do I keep and ship? What do I get rid of? What's the breaking point? So yeah, it's a lot of different things. So there's a lot of anxiety that comes with getting out. I mean, it seems like everything's cool and you're like laughing everything off, but really there's like crunch time. Like right now is a crunch time. It's 90 days till I final out and get all my paperwork signed and turn in all my CIF issue stuff, all my gear, and really just finalizing and clearing the slate. And then I have my terminal leave and my permissive TDY. Another thing for permissive TDY, if you didn't know, you have anywhere from 2 weeks up to 30 days maximum. So you can request 30 days maximum permissive TDY on the end of your on the end of your tour before you get out your terminal leave. So that's another thing that I did not know, and nobody really had a legit answer for it. I think it'd be nice if, I mean, with all the documentation that we have, it'd be nice if they had a regulation that just had a checklist, a spelled out checklist across the Army for everybody to understand and to know. And I mean, there's nuances, right, with being an AGR, what I am is just active guard reservist versus a traditional full-time active duty person. Either way, it's Title 10, meaning active duty, U.S. Title 10. So yeah. I'm going to try to document this process, at least one video a day if I can. And really, I'll just say this before I close it out. Make sure you have a mental picture of what you want your transition to look like. Make sure you know where you want to go. Make sure you know generally what you want to do. If you want to get out and not work, if you want to actually work, if you want to work part-time. Start that process early. Start your resume process early. I know you can start doing your TAP process, which is the old ACAP process, 2 years out. So I went 2 years and one day. I went to the office and knocked on the door, and I was like, hey, I'm ready to do my TAP. And they're like, no, it's 2 years to the day. So I had to go back the next day to actually start the process. But yeah, 2 years, 24 months, you can actually start. And that's an indicator that you're within that window as well, because really before you get your points calculated and before you get HRC to do the calculations and send back your points and send back your letter, you really don't know. It's really a crapshoot, right? So I did the calculations 7 ways to crazy to figure it out. And basically when you pull out your point sheet for your retirement points or whatever, there's a column that shows your active duty time. And that column needs to be 7,300 points for 20 years of active duty service. Anything beyond that is additional years and time, and you get small percentages based on however many years you go over that, right? But 7,300 is the magic number, right? So if you're trying to figure it out and you pull up your stuff and look at it, there'll be on the main page, there'll be a thing that says you have 18.5 years of active duty time from this date, right? So if it's like February 3rd or whatever, and every year it just cycles that and goes to 19.5, 20.5, 21.5. So it's that, and then the points sheet, the active duty time, if you're doing both, if you've done some active and reserve and whatever, the active duty points need to be 7,300, so 7,300. And then you'll know for sure, roughly, right? That'll give you a good estimate, and then you can just basically count back from that time, right? So you just take 7,300 divided by 12 or whatever, right? Do the small math, and if you need a calculator, just hit me up, write it in the comments, and I will try to get back to you. I have a little sheet that I created that basically spells it out day by day by day by day, month by month. and then it gives you that automatic calculation. It's a pretty easy formula. So I was really, really, really close. I was looking at mid-October, and you can only retire on the 1st of the month. So I I pushed it forward to the 1st of November for my request. And sure enough, it's like 20 years and 12 days. So I was right on the money. Depending on the process that you go through and how HRC is and how swamped they are, it could take a while to get your orders back. I pushed mine straight through my G1 shop, through my HHC, and let them do the paperwork. I've heard there's people who call up and call in favors to get it done. For this particular thing, I didn't want to do that. I really just wanted to let the process do its thing, and then just hold people accountable in the way of that. So I'm not the one like going back and like calling people. And when you call in favors, there's not always an obligation to like rush your stuff or to keep track of it. So you have to keep track of it. If you push it through the right way, the channels, the way you're supposed to do it, and you fill out all the paperwork and you match the checklists, then you can actually let other people do that work for you. And that takes a little bit of the mental burden off. So those are a few things. I'll try to put a few more out. And again, if there's any questions you have, I'm totally not the expert, but I work with a lot of good experts, a lot of really smart people when it comes to that G1, HRC, like human resources stuff. And they've helped me tremendously along the way. The folks that I work with here in Atlanta, they've really put me at ease, and they've helped me out tremendously. So I would give thanks to them. I don't want to name them because I don't know if they want to be named. But the few folks that I've worked with in this process, they've been really, really helpful. So get to know your G1 folks personally if you can, and establish a good relationship with them, because you're going to need them when it comes time to process all this paperwork, so you can have everything that you need. So anyway, I'm going to go grab a bite and do some work, and stick around and let me know in the comments if this is interesting to you, if there's something specific you want to hear about. And if you really like what I'm doing, then maybe hit the subscribe button and maybe hit the share button and let other people know. I'll be doing this for the next 6 months, I guess, and trying to keep you updated on the progress, because I haven't really seen anybody do anything like this yet. I've searched all over, so it's missing in life. And why not do it myself? I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much for coming by. And I hope I was able to enrich your life a little bit, and also show you my story. Until next time, talk to you later.